Are you ready to go from a six-figure income to a seven-figure income? I want you to take this video very seriously and watch it over and over again. I remember when I was losing, all I wanted to do was create freedom in my life, but I didn't know how to create freedom. And over the last 17 years, I have been practicing what I'm about to go over with you every single day. And that's where I built my grit, and the results happen by default. So if you're ready, you really want to pay attention to this video. Number one, step one is you have to know exactly what you want, and you have to commit to it with every cell of your being. It has to be 100% all-in commitment. Now, that doesn't mean you have to be perfect, but the dominant commitment always stays from your goal. Now, you want to hear my language. It's not to the goal. You're already there. What would you experience if you already had what you wanted an hour after you achieved it? That's the type of commitment I want you to have right now. Until you make a commitment, and a commitment is a decision. This is what I'm doing no matter what. I don't care how long it's going to take, and you mix it with discipline. You mix the commitment with discipline by saying, I don't care how long it's going to take. All I know is that I am willing. Now, when you have that commitment, that is your identity. If you want to know where your identity is, just look at your behaviors and you look at your commitments. Your commitments always reflect your identity. Now, if you have a commitment at $200,000 a year, but you want $1 million, you're never going to get to $1 million. That's called standard. We want to raise your commitments up to the $1 million commitment. That means you're going to change your behaviors with that commitment. And the beautiful part of the behaviors will become so effortless. It will not be hard to change. When you have the commitment, you know you're willing to pay the price. That's step one. Step two, now you identify what are the identity-based behaviors that I have now that I achieved that goal. And I'll give you some key ones to get to a seven-figure. Acting on ideas right away. Overcoming fear with your commitment with decision-making. Getting out of your comfort zone. Surrounding yourself with the right mentors so you study them like a scientist and you watch what they're doing. You're asking a lot of great questions. Attitude, can never forget attitude. Attitude is our thoughts, our feelings, and our actions. They create the results. And the type of actions you're taking actions in a certain way. Now that is step two, and you start building those identities, one identity-based behavior at a time. Now, if you're lacking discipline, there's no chance you're going to get to $1 million. I promise you this. Discipline is the prequel to creating success. And if you're at 200,000, that's where your disciplines are. You've got to create the disciplines at $1 million. So you discipline your thinking by now only accepting and rejecting ideas from the goal. Would my future self have these disciplines? No, well, I'm going to get rid of those. I'm going to build the disciplines that are in harmony with my goal. And it always starts with discipline with your thinking. So you want to have a hard yes to every idea that's in harmony with your goal. And you want to have a hard no with everything that is out of harmony. Well, I'll do it tomorrow. Nope, cancel. I do not accept this. I'm doing it right away. I do it now. That's in harmony with your goal. I am constantly studying myself. I'm doing the deep internal work in harmony with the goal. I'm doing pretty good. No, you never rationalize. Rationalizing means the program is controlling you. So we've got to really commit to accepting and rejecting ideas from our goal. Number three, you have ownership of your time. You start by tracking for 1 week your productive activities and your non-productive activities. Literally on a piece of paper, you're going to track hour to hour, and next to each hour, you're going to say this was a non-productive activity or this was a productive activity. Well, I'll give you another one. Is your calendar right now the calendar you would have at your goal? If it's not, you're out of harmony. By tracking the productive activities and non-productive activities, you're going to give yourself a story. And then we eliminate the non-productive right away. I'm going to save you 20 hours a week at least right now with this exercise if you really spend the time for 7 days to track what you're doing automatically. Now you're creating ownership of your time, but I want you to think of time a little different. We cannot manage our time. We manage our activities. My mentor taught me this. His mentor taught him this. Well, when we get rid of the non-productive activities and all we're doing is productive activities, we change our life. I mean, you're going to change your level of effectiveness significantly. Now, step 4, every day you are action-oriented. You are deliberately doing your 3 to 6 goal-achieving activities. But here's the thing with the goal-achieving activities. Your automatic program is going to want to default, and you do not even know, most people don't even know their goal-achieving activities. They go back to their old way of doing things. They do the same things every day. It's like a rat race. That's how the program works. So if you want to make a massive quantum leap from 200,000 a year to 1 million, you want to understand that you got to be guard for the old program. So every time you rationalize, the old program is in control. So you've got to get really good there of catching it. But now, every night, you want to write out in the present tense on a piece of paper. I'm old school, so I say piece of paper because I always keep it with me. What are my 3 to 6 goal achieving activities? Now, look at those activities and ask yourself, is that real work? Are those important ideas, or is it busy work that I'm comfortable doing? And I want to encourage you to do the hardest activity first, the one you resist the most first, because once you do that, it's out of the way. It is out of the way. And when you start taking ownership of time, you're going to see how effortless success is. Success is so simple. It's just a few disciplines compounded over time. And when you start looking at yourself, you're going to start changing your results dramatically. I have clients all the time. They'll come to me and they'll say, Arash, I'm still stuck. And I say, well, tell me what you're doing. And they go, well, and they freeze. I know the minute they hesitate, they're not consciously taking control over their time. They're just defaulting to the old program. And I said, you're stuck because you still see yourself where you are. We've got to see ourselves where we want to go. And then we say, what are the main disciplines that we're practicing every day? For me, it's non-negotiable. This changed my life so dramatically. Number 1 is I make decisions from my goal. Number 2, I focus on a few disciplines that I don't have that would really excel me to my goal. What's a good discipline? Great work habits. What's another great discipline? Getting out of my comfort zone. What's another great discipline? Serving at the highest level. Focusing on my ability to upgrade my skill set by serving. I'm giving you some key examples. So I focus on those disciplines. Number 3, standard. I want to draw a line in the sand that from now on, using my example of going from a 6-figure to a 7-figure income, I do not accept any idea under this line. I do not accept any idea that it's in harmony with my old program. My old program's already a part of me. I don't need to focus on that. I want to build my standard up to the 7-figure standard. And you do it by practicing action every day, by deliberately holding the image of the idea you're in love with. Now, let's understand this. If you don't have a commitment, and it's not an irrevocable, unwavering commitment, you don't have a goal, you have a wish or a hope. I'm going to tell you that right now. You have a wish or a hope. The commitment tells us so many things about ourselves. So we have to really understand how often we're putting inside of us what we want. But if you do not have a commitment, you're not in love with an idea. You may like it, you might have something written down, but it's not a full-fledged desire. Remember this. Fear is the red light, desire is the green light. I want you to put this image in your mind. So whenever you keep getting stuck in fear, you're constantly putting your foot on the brake. When you see that green light, that means the idea is using you. It's an absolute obsession. And it's a persistent obsession that keeps growing. And that's why standard always wins. When you're obsessed with getting better, no matter if you're failing, you won't even look at it as failure. You keep getting better and better and better and better. And that's what's going to change your life. Now, I want you to think about this. These are the things that I want you to really deliberately practice. Commitment, number 1. Number 2 is accepting and rejecting ideas. Number 3 is ownership of time, productive activities versus non-productive. Number 4 is your 3 to 6 goal achieving activities that you're doing every day, but you could do them every day, but every day with repetition, it's like a completely different activity because you're getting better at it. You're doing things in a certain way with a confidence, with a swagger. And then you hold on to your disciplines. You pick the disciplines. Now, I'm going to go over the disciplines that I will tell you that are in harmony with a 7-figure income. Serving at the highest level, being great at sales and marketing, stepping out of your comfort zone and acting on ideas right away. And the greatest discipline you can have is being in control of your mindset, where you have so much emotional discipline that no matter what's happening on the outside, it is not affecting your attitude. You are so neutral. You are so detached. Detachment is where all your power is. How do you create detachment? By being neutral. And when you practice this over and over again, I promise you this, if you do this for 6 months, you're going to see a massive quantum leap in your life. Watch this over and over again. You're going to pick up something I said this first time watching. The second time, you're going to pick it up something new. Share this with somebody that this can help. I want this to get in as many hands as possible. Once I created success, I wanted to give it to everybody. Let the idea use you. When you have an idea that uses you, you know you have a definite goal. And you will persist without even trying to persist. It just becomes a part of you because you want it so badly. And remember, where you are right now, the results always tell us what's going on inside of us. And I will close this with what Earl Nightingale said. He said, everybody's exactly where they want to be right now. And a lot of people don't like that, but that's the truth. You have to do the work. If you work these ideas, the ideas work. Thank you so much.